Being an educator these days has been hard. The last 2 years have created even more adversity in our lives. As we have tried here at Uplift to support our staff and community to think about their own well-being in the midst of their journey as educators, one of the things we really felt strongly about was, can we recruit a diverse cohort from CMO and from campus level staff to really go on a journey this year and see, can we help support educators during the course of an academic year to really empower them and support them on their own well-being journey.
So at the start of the year, we heard about the wellness cohort, and when I heard that we were practicing well-being, I wanted to jump on it and just make sure that I was putting myself in a situation where I could learn better ways to take care of myself, my students, and those around me.
The journey of well-being has always been a part of who I am. And so I was very much so intrigued and felt called when I saw this experience as an opportunity to get back into the space of well-being and become part of a community of those also inspired by well-being.
I really wanted to develop kind of a toolkit for myself of different resources that I could use just in my day-to-day. And I just wanted things that were quick bites or big challenges, but all focused on my well-being. And I thought being in this cohort could do just that.
Mainly what caught my attention was a trip back to the Northwest. I know being in Dallas, you don't really get to see the beautiful scenery, so I think that was just like a really relaxing idea. And then I learned more about the program, about just the opportunities to go into a deeper dive on wellness, and that really excited me about applying.
Easy to say that you do well-being, but do you really do well-being for yourself? I didn't even know what it is that I wanted or needed, but I felt like this was a program that would help me find that.
I really didn't know what to expect because wellness encompasses so many things, but coming right off of finishing my master's in nutrition, I thought, well, there's got to be something that I can add to this cohort, as well as something that I can get out of this cohort.
Burnout's a real thing in education, and I didn't want to be one of the people that couldn't go the distance. If my mission is to be there for the kids and for the staff, I know that I needed to take care of myself so that I could put in the time, put in the years that it's going to take to do this work. And as a leader of a staff, I wanted to be able to take lessons away with me that I could bring back to my staff and share my journey with them, and hopefully not just improve my own wellness, but also theirs as well.
I was just interested in what the well-being program had to offer in regards to how it could help build a collaborative space, giving people permission to take care of themselves and their well-being, but also giving people tools that they may not have been aware of, and to learn about what that will look like for them individually and then collectively as a group of educators.
I was at a point where teaching was stressful and I was not doing much outside of teaching, so I would go home and just work. And I really wanted to learn about some additional ways that I could take care of my emotional wellness. And I also wanted to meet some other people outside of my school and within my district for networking purposes.
We brought in the support of outside facilitators to make sure that our staff felt comfortable in their vulnerability, working not only with their peers, but also doing it in a way that people with other gifts could be brought into the circle that they respected and honored. So we partnered with an outside organization called Out Loud. And so having the support of external facilitators, having the self-paced online learning associated with important well-being competencies, and the community experiences, which culminated in a trip outside of the state where people really were able to reflect on their learning, to continue to build community and celebrate their accomplishments, and really be provoked by the environment in which they found themselves.
So how's everybody feeling? Maybe one at a time we can listen to each other?
It feels like you never get opportunities to sit still like that and be in a place where you've never been. So grateful.
These situations always make me feel really reflective. Like, and I think about what was the first thing that came to my mind when we got quiet? What were some thoughts, things that I was like thinking of or worried about? So this kind of stuff, yes, it always makes me feel reflective.
The air's just different here. Like, just being outside is beautiful here. It feels great. The temperature is amazing here. So it's just wonderful being in an environment that's so outside of our daily life on campus or my daily life at home.
When I first saw the cliffs overlooking the ocean, when I saw the waves hitting the shore, when I looked at the beautiful redwood trees, how elevated they are in contrast with how deep and vast the sea is, and the blueness of the sea and the blue of the sky and the green of all the trees and the mountains and the brown. It just was so beautiful to see the masterpiece all come together.
It's lovely to be able to wake up every morning among redwood trees and then drive a couple miles and see the oceans and the waterfalls. And it's just a gem of nature that's really wonderful, and I felt really present and reflective while I've been here.
We knew being provoked by the environment, by nature, and being together in the midst of that would create a kind of culminating experience that would not only be celebratory for what the members of the cohort learned, but truly cement their bond as a group so that moving forward, they too could leverage their own journeys to be of support to their families, friends, peers, and colleagues, and to the network as a whole.
So my goal was to disconnect from my phone, from social media especially. I thought that success for me was the fact that I could manage emails, phone calls, text messages on my phone, and I could make appointments at the same time managing a crisis and writing a press release. And I realized that actually was draining. It wasn't success. So because of the cohort, I also got to experience cooking class and pottery class and laying in a water deprivation tank, things that I wouldn't have spent my money on because it was outside of my comfort zone. But I got to experience them, and I love that. Some of them I want to do again.
If it wasn't for the wellness cohort, I probably would have quit. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so burnt out. Like, I had to juggle a lot of things that were not supposed to be on my plate, but you just had to do it to make it work. So that was like physically draining, and it felt like very impossible a lot of days. And I went to the well-being program, and it made me feel like I wasn't isolated in my burnout and exhaustion experience.
This opportunity has allowed me to really take the punches but not see them as punches, because I feel like I have a really good foundation of my own well-being and really good insights about myself that I'm able to see something negative, stressful coming my way, really analyze it and not let it affect me.
This was my most difficult year, and it took a lot of joy out of the thing that I love to do with and for my kids. And so I just didn't know if I was going to be able to make it through the year, especially suffering with the anxiety and depression. This cohort really helped me because I had set that goal for myself, and just meeting with people who had set different wellness goals for themselves and having, a partner to lean on was really pivotal.
The Wellbeing cohort has changed my life. I went from Wellness Wednesdays, which is maybe I can get a little bit more work done. And now I was getting to do these fun things and hanging out with great people, and I so looked forward to them every single month. It was absolutely the hardest year out of all 8 years I've taught. And without this cohort, I would have just felt like I was in a funk and sad, because this brought me so much life and joy. And so I was really excited and blessed to be part of it.
Well-being is possible. It's both perfect and imperfect at the same time, and it's not necessarily a straight line. It typically is a culmination of ups and downs and curves, but the possibility of finding stability in the midst of those ups and downs is what we really wanted to test out. And so I think it was really important that we gave this a chance to ask the question, how do busy educators who have a variety of roles, is it possible in the midst of that kind of responsibility and demand to go on a journey to activate our own joy, to heal what we need to heal and mend, and to do so in community? And I think we accomplished that.
I think anytime you take a big trip with a group like this, you just make unforgettable memories, and so you can't quite duplicate a trip like that. So I think that this experience is always just going to be something that I remember, because you think about day one where we didn't know each other and we were kind of just sitting in a room, and now we kind of feel like we know each other really well, and just thinking about the development of that relationship is something that I will not forget, because it's just beautiful to see how relationships can develop over time.
I'm just so grateful to have been a part of it, to have been able to separate and unplug and recharge my batteries, and I'm the most grateful for the people that we've gotten to know. This community is not going away. You know, this cohort may be disbanding. This may be the end of our year together, but we've made such powerful connections. I can't imagine not knowing these people or having them in my life after this.